Hey everybody, welcome to episode 25. We're glad you're here.
So what does it take to shut down some of Japan's high-speed trains? Apparently, a shellless terrestrial gastropod mollusk.
This is Railroad Showcase. Virgin Trains USA, previously Brightline, which operates between Miami and West Palm Beach, just broke ground on Phase 2 of the line heading to Orlando. Virgin Trains is developing 170 miles of new track, which will feed directly into the state-of-the-art terminal facility connected to the Orlando International Airport. This new line will require 225 million pounds of steel, 490,000 new ties, and over 2 million spikes and bolts. The new line is expected to reach completion by 2022, and the whole project from Miami to Orlando will cost over $4 billion, making it the largest privately funded infrastructure project in the nation. Virgin Trains USA doesn't plan on stopping there, though. With their next line from Las Vegas to Southern California already in the works, they have plans to connect some of the country's biggest cities via high-speed rail.
Japan is famous for many things, especially its high-speed rail network. Last month, large sections of that network failed, rendering the electric trains inoperable. Just the past week, however, they revealed what caused the outages: a slug. About an inch long, the small slug made its way onto some electrical equipment, and when it touched the wrong wire, fried itself and other components, causing the outage. More than 12,000 people were delayed that morning, with 26 trains needing to be canceled.
Last Tuesday morning, 36 cars carrying coal derailed right in the heart of the Dismal Swamp in southeastern Virginia. The coal was fine, similar to sand, some 3,600 tons of it, and the cleanup is expected to take a few weeks. While the coal itself isn't considered a hazardous material, it contains heavy metals and other toxins that could leach out of the coal, especially due to the high acidity of the swamp water. The Great Dismal Swamp is a national wildlife reserve, and while there is concern over the impact, the Great Dismal Swamp is a national wildlife reserve, and while there is concern over the long-term impact, the cleanup efforts have started and there isn't yet cause for great alarm.
A man in Jamestown, North Dakota, was arrested this past Friday the 21st for shooting at a passing train. The BNSF train crew reported a gunshot around 10 p.m., and when officers interviewed Art Crane, he told them that he had fired a shot into the air around that time. When the train crew later provided photos to the officers of a bullet hole in the engine's door, they returned to Crane's house, and after refusing to answer, they obtained a search warrant. After arresting him, it was discovered that Crane, 73, had a record of multiple complaints to the railroad over the noise of the whistle by his house. This week, we have a lot of favorite finds, and for our first one, we're going to go to Switzerland. This is a stunning clip that was shot by Markus Staubli and posted by Tobias Hardmere. Like other engines on this railway, number 704 can run with normal adhesion, or it can use the cog on steep sections. The locomotive was originally built for a cog railway in Vietnam, and it ran there from the 1920s to the 70s when operations ceased because of the war. It was brought back to Switzerland and its restoration was completed last year. Modifications had to be made to accommodate the sharper curves of this line. It's expected to be used in revenue service this year. Markus' brief video captured it working hard, pushing a 100,000-pound ballast car up the hill. If you want to know more about their support group, you can go to their Facebook, linked below.
In 1943, the U.S. Army had the challenge of needing to train thousands of men on the complicated logistics of moving the materiel of war. Life magazine sent photographer Andreas Feininger to Virginia at Fort Lee to show off the quartermaster school using O-scale trains outdoors, demonstrating how these logistics are handled. We also see images from the U.S. Army archives. Types of track, railheads, and camouflage were all taught. Even the scale interior of a warehouse was used for instruction.
So it doesn't look like they had any working switches.
You know, I noticed that, and it occurred to me that they probably weren't actually even running any of the trains. You know, in the middle of their instruction, trying to have electric trains, 1940s electric trains running outdoor would have just become a problem. My guess is they probably just had all of these facilities set up in scale, and they used them as a big 3D illustration on how things would work, but they weren't actually fiddling around running the trains.
That makes sense. You can't have people too distracted by the model trains during the school lessons.
And my goodness, turnouts are expensive. Maybe even the U.S. military couldn't afford that many turnouts.
Are you a die-hard football fan? Is tailgating your pregame of choice? Have you been wondering how you can mix two of your favorite hobbies together, trains and sports? We know what you need. A cockaboose. And no, I didn't just swear. In Columbia, South Carolina, across from the Williams-Brice Stadium, sit 22 cabooses, specially modified just for tailgating. And recently, one of them could have been yours, for a cool $219,000. While it doesn't have a bathroom or a full kitchen, it does come with 6 parking spaces, 70 guest passes, and the knowledge that you're one of the coolest people there on game day.
Aaron McCreight is a conductor for the BNSF out of Lubbock. And he and Bree have been together for a few years now. They were high school sweethearts, and now they are expecting. The Texas State Railroad helped them with their gender reveal party. A crew member threw the appropriate color down the stack, and it was blue. The couple were rooting for a boy, and we hear Aaron's mom yelling her excitement because evidently she was rooting for a boy too. Congratulations to the happy couple.
Georgetown Loop engineer Jen Jenks was featured in a new report by Denver CBS Channel 4. Their report gave a positive portrayal of the railroad and Jen's work there as one of the few female steam engineers in the country. It was heartwarming to see how she inspires young girls riding the train and how much it means to her father, who also works on the railroad.
Jen Jenks knows people are curious when they see her up front.
Even little boys once in a while, there's a girl up there.
It's a good kind of curious. It's why Jen never gets tired of waving hello.
You can just see their eyes light up when I go by. I actually like it. I mean, it makes me smile. It makes the job worth it.
She even saved a fan letter from 2 little girls.
How they were excited they were to see me up there, it just made their day.
But the kids are her second biggest fans. She works with her number 1.
Not many fathers can say that their daughter is their best friend, but my daughter is my best friend.
Sam McCloskey's great-great-grandfather worked on the original railroad. Now he's working alongside his daughter. It's a dream for both.
She says, "Dad, this isn't fair to the company." She says, "I can't believe they're actually paying us to do this."
Japan has their own style of doing things, and they even have their own style of galloping goose. They used this for a while as a means of extending the reach of the passenger lines into rural areas. They could run out perhaps even beyond the last formal passenger station and then jump off to the road and serve communities that didn't even have rail connections. So They called this a dual mode vehicle, or a DMV. It was tested by the Hokkaido Railway Company. While principally the same as most other types of high rail vehicles, this one has the advantage of special guides that would allow them to align very quickly with the rail, transferring from the road to the rail in as little as 10 seconds. Unfortunately, due to complications internal to the company, the project was abandoned.
That's it for episode 25. Thank you guys so much for your support. You Gold and Silver Spike members really make all the difference.
Thanks for watching, and remember, keep your hand on the throttle and your eye on the rail.